Owner of a lonely heart, dun, 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 dun. Owner of a lonely heart. Taza, has he entered the point of no return, guys? Yes. We're looking at Mayans MC Season 5. We've recently put up a poll. We'll get to those results in just a minute. But today we're going to be discussing the fact, will Taza actually return? Because I wouldn't bet my top rocker on it. Honestly, I think he's almost burnt his bridges. But you've got a former VP. It'd be a bit stupid for him not to return. But we put this poll up only 5 hours ago. So, yeah, kind of wanted to get this vid done. So, could have let it last a wee bit longer, the voting. But you know what, guys? You can still go ahead and vote because we still pay attention to it. But here we go in Fog Entertainment. Will Taza even be in Season 5? Hashtag Mayans. 62 votes. I did put in 3 options because I feel like 3 options is the fair amount. So I put in yes, which basically means yes, he will be in it in like a more regular role. Yes, but only a few times. That is the most likely option here. I got 65% of the vote, and then nope being 11. Personally, I think it's going to be yes, but only a few times because he's nomad, right? I see no reason why he would return to Santo Padre because he said he didn't like the direction the club was taking, right? Which is all good. And the way the club's going to go in Season 5, it's only going to get worse before it gets better. And also, say it does get really bad and people die, would it not be a bit weak of him coming back and be like, I'm back, guys. Things have calmed down. I want a transfer. No, I just don't see it. I mean, you look at other people who've transferred, not really in Mayans, but in Suns, they don't really get away back in, or they're greeted with oh, it's all right, you can come back anytime. Like Happy when he was a Nomad, or when he was Tacoma, he basically asked Clay if he could go Nomad, even though I guess Clay's a mother charter VP. That was alright though. You've Kozik, he was welcome back. Jax, of course, he wanted out because of Clay. But of course, the reveal with Gemma brought him back. Other people, Bobby was going to go, but then Jax was like bitter, and then he's like, "Oh, you were out recruiting for us. Come on back, Bobby. You never left. Brilliant, lovely, jubbly." But as for Taza, Bishop and Easy were like showing great disdain about it. The fact they're now current pres and VP says to me that there's just no way in hell Taza's going to be back in the club, Santa Padre, the charter. Now, yes, he's still a part of the Mayans, but he's not going to be welcomed back to Santa Padre with open arms, if we're being honest. But we did have a comment, guys, and we read all the comments here. So, comment from Tudor Usio. Don't know if that's how you pronounce it, big man, but you know what? That's what I've pronounced it with, So, deal with it, but I'll read your comment. He has to, in all fairness. Both in the case of SOA and Mayans, even characters who did stupid/regrettable shit are likeable. I was sad when Clay got killed, and the fact that Juice was turned into a stupidly tragic character. I agree with you, right? See Clay, most people watching the show were sad. It was epic writing for Sutter to be able to have a guy who, you hated what he done to the club. By the end, it was like Jax was like almost viewed as like the bad guy towards Clay, but it was also like justified in a way. And Juice as well, I think you can't help but feel sorry for Juice. But they were written well. What's really been written well about Taza at the end of the day? Because let's be real, right? He looks a bit of a card. He killed Riz for essentially no reason, right? When the clubhouse was under attack, he fucking bottled it, right? He pure bottled it. He just sat there and started drinking. He didn't even help, right? He lied about his sexuality for about 40 fucking years, right? Which, he couldn't have come out back in the 80s, brother. I mean, Taza could have come out back in the 80s, right? George Michael George Michael would have loved it, right? Freddie Mercury, man, he could have joined Queen. He could have joined, what's that group? What's that group that George Michael was in? Oh, what is that group? I can't think of that group. What are they called? Oh, I can't even think of George Michael's group. But all this stuff was preventable for Taza. Honestly, it was. And he left on his own accord. He literally just said, I don't like the direction this club's going. I feel like with Juice and Clay, you're right, Clay's a murderous, bastard. But Juice was a rat. Two very different. Well, I mean, who's the worst out of all 3 of them in terms of the acts they did? I mean, they're all pretty equal. At least you could argue Clay's in his own weird fucking way, he's trying to protect the club while Taz has killed Riz for essentially no reason, if we're being honest. And then Juice, I mean, he rat on the club, but tried to make it right by the end. But yeah, Taza's job that he says here in the rest of the comment. The same goes for Taza. In season 4, he almost was invisible or turned into a silent emo kid that eventually left. He was nothing of what he was in the previous season, and this simply disappeared. I expect his departure to make sense. And that could only happen with a sudden comeback, maybe in the finale. Yeah, I mean, maybe Taza will return in the finale and he'll be like a sort of surprise or something, but I'm not really that bothered about the character. I feel like the height of Taza when El Palo was alive, personally, if you had to rewrite it, considering like how irrelevant he did feel in season 4, like you had a couple of scenes between him and Bishop, but realistically, what did Taza do? And like I said, yes, he didn't lift a gun in the premiere, so he did nothing there. Realistically, could you not have just had him and El Palo fight to the death and both of them die or something? Would that not have been a fitting end for both of them? Plus, it wouldn't have made El Palo look as weak. That's what I would have done, personally, but of course they didn't do that. They just killed El Palo. I mean, maybe we could make a fid in that. Should El Palo have killed Taza? Because personally, I think he would have went out with a bang, rather than just peter out and say he doesn't like the direction and kind of job it. But anyway, guys, that's it for this video. We've discussed it, we broke it down. Is Taza coming back? Yes, but only a few times, brother.